Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I make weekly planning and art videos, so if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing. This is just kind of a quick video of a week layout for July 9th, and it's kind of a bright, vibrant green theme is what I was going for. You can kind of see my cup of bright green markers that I have to choose from, and that was kind of my theme. So yeah, I was just inspired by the summer in Vermont is green everywhere you look, and I just can't get enough of it. So that's kind of what I went with this week. I also really loved last week's spread where I used a lot of watercolor. So this week I went back to watercolor in my bullet journal, and I'm glad. I think that going forward I'm probably going to watercolor lots and lots of pages, wrinkle up a lot of pages, but I love the way the colors come together. In the end, it's just so pretty. So if you're interested in any of the supplies, I listed them down below. Mostly just a couple of my watercolors. I use whole bean artist watercolors, but really any watercolors could work here, and tons of markers everywhere. So all those supplies are listed down below. And if you had any questions, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I was just trying to lay down kind of a green leafy background to then put some doodles and quotes and stuff like that on. So I did kind of greens mixed with a little bit of blue here and there to kind of mix it up a little bit. So yeah, just laid down lots of different greens, splashed in a little bit of blue, and let it kind of organically mix on the page. I wanted it to just look really natural and kind of like an explosion of green colors. And then while that's drying, I kind of work on my other side. I've been doing this layout for about a month now, where I do my first page, kind of things and goals for the week, listing out any like my intention for the week, and then a spending log because I'm trying to do better with spending. So that's a big part of my trackers, is just listing out everything that I spend. It feels like I spend less money if I have to write it down, like this is what I spent it on and how. So I've been doing that. And it's been really helpful. And then I usually bring that back into my monthly budget, which you can see in my July monthly plan with me if you're interested. And then just adding lots of fun little doodles. I was adding in these little like circly sprites. I guess they're like little forest sprites is what I was thinking of. And just kind of pulling those in. And then a little to-do list for the week. I think that I've been doing like meals and goals for the week before, but just a general overall to-do list I think is what I'm trying this week anyways. So see how that goes. And just adding in more leafy doodles, doing my first 3 days of the week on this other page. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and giving them a drop shadow because my greens are not all that great. And also I messed up some of the drop shadows, so I go back and actually fix that today when I was using my bullet journal at work. But in general, I've been using this more organic layout and then just adding to it as the week goes on. So when I'm on the phone at work, just adding in more doodles, more leaves, more things, and then giving myself enough space for each day to do a small task list, and then also to go back and journal kind of what happened on that day. And if you want to check out on my Instagram, you can kind of see those pages laid out in completion. And I actually really like how this part of it turned out. And this is kind of what I was thinking of all week, is this bright greens with black over it. I don't know, there's something about green and black together that I really like. So that was my main goal. And then so I'm liking how that little corner of this page and this spread turned out. Really happy with that in general. And of course adding little stars and sparkles and polka dots, because I think that looks good. And I do that pretty much on every spot of every page, is add in more and more. I'm definitely a more is more person, not less is more. And added in that vine. I actually hate that vine. If I could, I think I should washi tape over it maybe. I don't know, it just doesn't match the rest of the vines, and I tried putting them elsewhere. It's not my favorite part of the spread. But it's a learning experience. And then so the next page I use for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of area, and some more quotes. On this one I did leaves all up and down one half of the page so that I could go back over it with doodles and a big quote. Because I really didn't do any like inspirational kind of quotes really on the first page, just a small one. And that's kind of what I've been doing with my spreads is trying to bring in something that's like, go do it better, stronger, faster, whatever. So yeah, just working more of that leaf pattern on this side. Usually I'm going in with a kind of a lighter and a green, and then coming back in with dark green blobs, and then a little bit of this turquoise blue to kind of mix it up, and dabbing the paints around. This isn't watercolor paper, so it wrinkles very quickly, and the watercolor paints are going to pool in certain areas, so you got to kind of go back and move things around while as it's drying. Otherwise you're going to get big thick pools of color, which is fine. Like, I also want that kind of organic stuff, but it isn't watercolor paper, and it's going to wrinkle pretty fast. I use a Leuchtturm 1917, and I think that in the next bullet journal I'm definitely going to get a journal with thicker paper. As much as I appreciate the dot grid, I'd much rather have to deal with rulers and stuff like that and be able to use mixed media, because I've definitely moved away from being like doing to-do lists and everything, and more towards an art journal with to-do lists in it. It makes me want to use it. It makes me proud. It makes me happy when I open it up and I'm doing my things. So I think that next time around I'm gonna choose something with thicker paper. So just, yeah, adding in a couple quotes of things that I thought, I usually have a Pinterest board with just tons of quotes or things I've seen on other people's bullet journals on Instagram, and just adding those in. More leafy doodles. I pretty much draw leafy doodles 99% of the time, because I don't know, they look good to me. So I think next week I'm going to change it up though, and try not to do so many leaves and flowers, but I don't know, it's summer here and I can't help it. So I don't know what I'm going to do for next week's spread, but maybe a different something, not so many leafy things, and just adding in more of those little, like, I don't know, I think of them as like forest sprites, little circly dots of magic, forest magic. Sure, yeah, let's call them that. And more leaves and more stuff, and just keep going. And usually after I get done with tons of doodles, then pulling in some washi tape and, playing around with that, and just adding to it until it looks good. There's definitely some parts of this I don't like as much. When I was trying to letter the Saturday and Sunday, my hand kept dipping into the wet watercolor paint, so those both look terrible, and I almost want to fix those and tape over them or something, because I just hate that Saturday. It's just glaring me in my face. But yeah, usually if you doodle enough around everything, it looks okay in the end. So just adding a few more doodles to kind of offset those words there. And yeah,